What happens when technology forces you to choose between your beliefs and your survival? What if the very tools you rely on every day suddenly become gatekeepers, deciding what you can and cannot do based on invisible criteria? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's not a distant dystopian fantasy. It's unfolding all around us, quietly and relentlessly. Imagine a world where an algorithm quietly decides if you're a good citizen, impacting your ability to buy groceries, travel, or see your kids. Every move you make, every purchase, every interaction is tracked and scored, often without your knowledge or consent. This is happening now, not in some distant future. Across the globe, governments and corporations are rolling out these systems, often in the name of safety or efficiency. We're building systems that can enforce compliance on a scale humanity has never seen. The infrastructure is vast, growing, and largely invisible to those it monitors. It's not just about convenience, it's about control. The more we integrate technology into our lives, the more we surrender our autonomy, often without realizing it. Your phone, your apps, your online transactions, they're all data points, painting a detailed picture of you. Every swipe, every tap, every location ping adds another layer to your digital identity. When all this information is connected and analyzed by AI, it becomes a tool for judgment and control. The lines between convenience and surveillance blur, and the consequences become harder to escape. The power to judge is the power to coerce. Those who control the data, control the narrative, and ultimately control the people. These systems can nudge, pressure, or even punish you for stepping out of line, not just in action but in thought. The boundaries of acceptable behavior are no longer set by society, but by code. The real question isn't if technology can do this, but who decides the rules, and what happens to those who don't fit. Who gets to define what's right or wrong, and who is left behind when the system decides they don't belong. We rarely stop to ask where this march of technology is taking us. We're so focused on the next upgrade, the next app, that we forget to question the cost. Each new device, each new app, is another brick in a vast infrastructure of surveillance. With every innovation, the web grows tighter, and our freedom a little smaller. The stakes are high, and the time to pay attention is now. The uncomfortable question is no longer about what technology can do, but whether we're willing to accept the world it's creating for us and what we're willing to do about it. Maybe you think I'm being dramatic, or that these concerns are exaggerated, but for me, this is personal. It's not just a headline or a distant issue, it's about the world my family and I live in every day. I want my kids to grow up free to choose their beliefs, to explore ideas openly, not limited or nudged by an algorithm's silent judgment or hidden biases. Freedom of conscience isn't just an abstract concept, it's the foundation of a free society, the bedrock that allows us to think, speak, and act without fear. Today that freedom is threatened not by soldiers or tanks, but by servers, sensors, and invisible lines of code that watch and judge us. Most of us don't realize we're already on the digital front line, where every step, click, and choice is quietly recorded and analyzed. Understanding how AI and surveillance work is essential for everyone, not just techies or experts, but parents, teachers, and everyday citizens. These systems already influence your news, your job prospects, the ads you see, and even your loan rates, shaping your opportunities in ways you may not notice. Ignoring this is like letting others quietly decide your rights and your future for you, without your knowledge or consent. AI and mass surveillance aren't just tools, they're rapidly becoming instruments of control, shaping behavior and limiting choices. They're engineered to enforce compliance and punish dissent, forcing people to choose between their beliefs and their ability to participate fully in society. This isn't a slippery slope we might face someday. We're already sliding, and we need to hit the brakes before our freedom quietly disappears. The time to act is now, before it's too late to reclaim our rights and shape the digital world for ourselves and future generations. I'm no theologian, but I've always been fascinated by the wisdom and caution hidden in ancient texts. Sometimes these old warnings feel eerily relevant, as if they were written for our time, not just for people thousands of years ago. The Book of Revelation, for example, describes a world where you can't buy or sell without a mark, a symbol of total economic control, where every transaction is monitored and nothing is truly private. Forget literal interpretations for a moment. The real warning is about systems that demand ideological conformity for survival, where your beliefs and actions must align with those in power or you risk being excluded. If you don't comply, you're locked out, economically and socially erased, unable to participate in society, cut off from basic needs and connections. The mechanism is coercion. The goal is total control, not just of your actions but of your thoughts and choices. For the first time in history, we're building technology that could make this possible, monitoring everyone, everywhere, all the time, with unprecedented precision. Your identity, finances, and even your social behavior can now be linked, tracked, and controlled with a digital switch, making it easier than ever to enforce conformity. The danger isn't the tech itself, but the centralization of power demanding total conformity, where a few decide the rules for everyone. Technology is a tool. It can build or destroy, depending on whose hands wield it and for what purpose. Today, the hammer of AI surveillance is being used to build a cage, one that could trap not just bodies, but minds and freedoms. The warning is clear. Beware any system that forces you to choose between your conscience and your survival, because that's when freedom truly dies. We're seeing echoes of this pattern in our world today, as more systems demand compliance and punish dissent. The question is, will we recognize the signs and heed the warning before it's too late, or will we ignore the lessons of the past? To see this in action, look at China's social credit system. It rates citizens' trustworthiness by monitoring everything: cameras, online activity, even your friends. Jaywalking, late bills, or sharing unapproved news can lower your score. Praising the government or volunteering can raise it. Your score follows you everywhere, affecting travel, loans, jobs, and even your kids' education. Low scores mean real penalties, travel bans, public shaming, blocked opportunities. High scores unlock privileges, discounts, faster services, better access. It's a system of rewards and punishments, conditioning an entire population. The goal: let the trustworthy roam free, while the discredited can't take a step. This is technological control at its most explicit. Everyday life becomes a test of obedience. The digital cage is real, and it's spreading. The bars may be gilded, but they're still bars. This is the future we risk if we don't act. The danger deepens when control targets private beliefs. In China, the social credit system enforces ideology, punishing religious practice and dissent. Attending an unregistered church, buying a Bible, or sharing religious content can lower your score. Even associating with religious activists is risky. For Uyghur Muslims, surveillance is total: cameras, checkpoints, spyware. Simple acts of faith can lead to catastrophic consequences, including detention. Technology becomes an instrument of cultural erasure. Belief itself becomes a liability. Loyalty to the state is demanded. The system isolates individuals, breaking community bonds. This is the ultimate goal: to make everyone dependent on the state, alone and compliant. It's tempting to think this is just a China problem. It's not. The building blocks for similar systems are appearing worldwide, even in democracies. Governments deploy facial recognition for security. Corporations track every click for convenience. We're surrounded by invisible scores: consumer, trust, risk, shaping our opportunities and prices. Privacy is vanishing, and with it, the freedom to speak or associate without fear. Surveillance creates a chilling effect. You self-censor, conform, and avoid dissent. Power is concentrating in the hands of a few tech giants and agencies. This isn't a bug, it's a feature of our digital world. History shows concentrated power is always abused. The global creep of surveillance is real and accelerating. We must recognize it before it's too late. Freedom erodes quietly, not with a bang, but with the hum of servers. When does technology become a tyrant? The line is crossed at coercion. A tool helps you, a tyrant forces you. Technology should enhance autonomy, not remove choice. When systems demand conformity and punish dissent, freedom dies. Linking identity, behavior, and access to services creates a unified system of control. When survival depends on ideological purity, you're no longer a citizen, you're a subject. The system demands not just obedience, but public agreement. The danger isn't the tech, but its use for control. We risk building an architecture of coercion that makes dissent impossible. This isn't about halting progress, it's about ensuring technology serves humanity. We must draw the line before we face the choice: conform or be cast out. The future depends on our vigilance. Let's make sure technology remains our servant, not our master. The scariest part? Once surveillance infrastructure is in place, resistance becomes nearly impossible. It's like a dam, easy to build, nearly impossible to dismantle. Once cameras, sensors, and databases are everywhere, opting out isn't an option. The system becomes the new normal, and challenging it is risky. Resistance means unplugging from society, which most can't do. These systems identify and neutralize dissenters, not with violence, but with exclusion. Fear and self-censorship spread. Even talking about resistance is dangerous. Surveillance tech is a global commodity. What works in one country spreads to others. Once perfected, these tools will be adopted everywhere, always in the name of security. The infrastructure of control, once built, is almost impossible to remove. Overwhelmed? Don't panic. Despair isn't a strategy. We're not powerless, but we must act now. First, stay informed. Learn how these technologies work and how they affect you. Support investigative journalism and demand transparency in surveillance policies. Question new surveillance in your community. Demand debate and accountability. Protect freedom of speech, association, and conscience. Support digital rights organizations. Advocate for strong data protection laws and insist technology serves the rule of law. This is a fight for human dignity, so we remain citizens, not data points. Value conscience over compliance. Think critically about the tech you use and talk about these issues with others. Demand leaders prioritize freedom over control. The stakes are too high for silence. Thank you for listening. Now let's talk.